Before you choose this life, understand something first. This life doesn't care how talented you are. It doesn't care how much potential people say you have. It doesn't care how badly you want it. This life only responds to one thing: what you are willing to do when nobody is watching. Most people say they want greatness. Very few actually want the lifestyle that comes with it. Because this life is lonely. This life is repetitive. This life is painful. And this life will ask you to sacrifice things that other people are not even willing to think about. Before you choose this life, you need to understand that there is no applause at the beginning. No crowd. No cameras. No highlights. Just you. An empty gym. A ball. And a choice. People love the idea of being legendary. They love the identity. They love the respect. They love the finished product. But they hate the process. They hate waking up early when their body says no. They hate practicing the same move over and over again. They hate failing in silence. They hate being misunderstood. They want the jersey. But they don't want the sweat that stains it. They want the ring. But they don't want the years it takes to earn it. You need to be honest with yourself. Not motivated. Not hyped. Honest. Do you really want this life? Or do you just like how it looks from the outside? Because once you choose it, there is no turning it off when it gets uncomfortable. This life will demand discipline. On days when motivation disappears. And motivation will disappear. Here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Talent is common. Hard work is common. Obsession is rare. That's the difference. Obsession is showing up early. And staying late. Without anyone asking you to. Obsession is doing the boring work. With the same intensity as the exciting moments. Obsession is not negotiating with yourself. A lot of people say, I'll work hard when it matters. But if you don't work when it doesn't matter, you won't be ready when it does. Championship moments are built on ordinary days. Not special days. Not emotional days. Ordinary ones. Before you choose this life, understand that it will test your ego. There will be days you don't feel special. Days you feel replaceable. Days you question yourself. And in those moments, you'll be tempted to blame circumstances. Your coach. Your teammates. Your opportunities. Your background. But this life doesn't reward excuses. It rewards responsibility. At some point, you have to stop saying, I could be great. And start asking, what am I doing today? To earn greatness? Not tomorrow. Not next season. Today. Because greatness doesn't arrive one day. It's built daily. Quietly. Painfully. Relentlessly. Most people never reach their potential. Not because they aren't capable. But because they aren't willing to live the life required. They want balance. This life demands priority. They want comfort. This life demands sacrifice. They want approval. This life demands independence. Before you choose this life, understand that nobody owes you belief. You earn belief by showing consistency. When nobody is impressed. By doing the work. Even when it feels pointless. By respecting the process. Even when progress is invisible. This life is not about being better than others. It's about being better than who you were yesterday. And if you can't commit to that, this life will break you. But if you can, if you truly can, then this life will give you something rare. The peace of knowing you didn't leave anything inside you. Before you choose this life, you need to understand something else. Greatness doesn't start when the lights turn on. It starts when the world is asleep. It starts in the quiet. In the moments where nobody is checking on you. Nobody is clapping. Nobody is posting about it. Just you. And the work. Most people think discipline is about intensity. About going hard once in a while. They're wrong. Discipline is about consistency. About doing the same thing. With the same level of focus. Every single day. Even when it feels boring. Even when it feels repetitive. Even when it feels like nothing is changing. Especially then. The morning tells the truth about who you are. Because in the morning, there's no pressure. No consequences. No one watching. You can stay in bed. You can make excuses. You can tell yourself you'll do it later. And nobody will know. Except you. Every time you hit snooze, you're making a decision. Not a big one. A small one. But small decisions compound. You're deciding whether you control your day. Or your comfort does. And over time, comfort always collects interest. This life requires you to win the morning. Before you try to win anything else. Not because waking up early is magical. But because it forces you to choose discipline over emotion. Your body doesn't want to get up. Your mind looks for reasons not to. And that's exactly the point. There's a difference between training when you feel good and training because it's scheduled. Anyone can work when they're motivated. Professionals work when they're not. That's the separation. Before you choose this life, understand how lonely it is. You'll be working while your friends are relaxing. You'll be practicing while others are celebrating. You'll be saying no to things that look harmless but steal your edge. And they won't understand. They'll say you're doing too much. They'll say you're obsessed. They'll say you should relax. They don't see what you see. They don't feel what you feel. And they don't pay the price you're willing to pay. Loneliness is part of the contract. Not because you're better than others. But because you're chasing something. Others are not. You're not isolating yourself. You're prioritizing. There's a difference. This life will also test your patience. You won't get immediate results. You won't get instant validation. You won't always see improvement. And that's where most people quit. Not because it's hard. But because it's slow. They mistake silence for failure. They mistake repetition for stagnation. They mistake patience for weakness. But mastery lives in repetition. The same footwork. The same shot. The same detail. Refined. Again. And again. And again. Before you choose this life, understand that failure is guaranteed. Bad games. Missed shots. Lost opportunities. Embarrassing moments. They're not exceptions. They're requirements. This life doesn't punish you for failing. It punishes you for avoiding failure. There will be moments where everything goes wrong. And people will look at you to see how you respond. Not when you're winning. That's easy. But when you're exposed. When your confidence is tested. When your pride is wounded. That's when mentality is revealed. There's a difference between being confident and being committed. Confidence says, I believe I can do this. Commitment says, I'll do whatever it takes. Even if belief disappears. That's what carries you. When the job isn't finished. You don't celebrate early in this life. You don't relax because you're ahead. You don't feel satisfied. Just because you've done well once. Because comfort is dangerous. The moment you feel finished, you start declining. Before you choose this life, understand that it never asks you for who you were. It only asks one question. Who are you today? And then it asks again tomorrow. And the next day. And the next. No shortcuts. No breaks from responsibility. This life isn't glamorous up close. It's demanding. It's unforgiving. It's relentless. But if you accept that, if you respect that, then it gives you something few people ever experience. Self-respect. Not confidence from compliments. Not pride from attention. But the quiet confidence. That comes from knowing. You did the work. Before you choose this life, you need to understand one thing clearly. Failure is not a possibility. It's part of the deal. If you're trying to avoid it, you're already disqualified. This life will embarrass you. You will miss shots. You were sure you'd make. You will lose games. You thought you controlled. You will be criticized by people who don't do half the work you do. And it won't be fair. That's the point. Most people break. Not when they fail, but when failure becomes public. When mistakes are visible. When confidence is questioned. When narratives are created about them. They start protecting their image instead of sharpening their skill. That's where growth dies. Before you choose this life, you must decide something in advance. Failure will not define you. Your response will. Because this life is always watching. How you react when things don't go your way. Not emotionally. Not verbally. But behaviorally. Do you disappear? Do you sulk? Do you blame? Do you lower your standard? Or do you show up the next day and work with even more precision? There's a reason pressure breaks most people. Pressure exposes what you're built on. If your confidence comes from results, pressure will destroy you. If your confidence comes from preparation, pressure becomes fuel. This life respects preparation. Not talk. Not promises. Not potential. Preparation. Because preparation is the only thing that shows up when everything else leaves. There will be moments when you're exhausted, frustrated, and mentally drained. Moments where quitting feels logical. Moments where stopping feels justified. And in those moments, nobody will stop you. No alarms. No consequences. No dramatic endings. Just a quiet decision to lower the standard. That's how most people lose this life. Not in one big moment, but in small compromises. Skipping details. Letting things slide. Accepting good enough. That's where decline starts. This life doesn't ask for perfection. It asks for standards. Standards that don't change. Based on mood, results, or recognition. Standards you hold. Even when no one would blame you for letting go. Jobs not finished. Isn't about ignoring success. It's about understanding that success is temporary. If discipline isn't permanent, you don't relax because you're ahead. You don't slow down because you're praised. You don't celebrate until the work is complete. And even then, you reset. Before you choose this life, understand that confidence is not loud. It's quiet. It's walking into pressure without needing reassurance. It's trusting your work without needing validation. It's knowing that even if everything goes wrong, you'll respond the right way. This life will also challenge how much pain you can carry silently. Not physical pain. Mental pain. The frustration of stagnation. The loneliness of focus. The weight of expectations. And nobody will see it. They'll only see the performance. That's why this life isn't for everyone. Some people need encouragement. Some people need approval. Some people need constant feedback. This life gives none of that. It gives responsibility. Before you choose this life, ask yourself, can you stay disciplined without praise? Can you stay focused without immediate results? Can you stay committed when belief is tested? Because that's where separation happens. This life doesn't reward who wants it the most. It rewards who endures the longest without lowering their standard. And if you can do that, if you can take failure and turn it into refinement, if you can take pressure and turn it into clarity, then this life gives you something rare. Mental toughness that can't be taken from you. But there's still one thing left. The final truth. Most people never confront. Before you choose this life, you need to face the final truth. This life is not something you do. It's something you become. And once you become it, there is no separation between who you are and how you work. Most people fail here. Not because they're weak. Not because they're incapable. But because they want greatness. Without changing their identity. They want to act disciplined. Instead of being disciplined, they want to try when it's convenient. Instead of showing up as who they are. This life doesn't work like that. You don't wake up every day asking yourself if you feel like doing the work. That question disappears. Because the answer is already decided. At some point, discipline stops being effort and becomes expectation. You don't negotiate with yourself. You don't debate standards. You don't wait for emotion. You move. Not because it's exciting, but because that's who you are. Before you choose this life, understand that it will take things from you. Time. Relationships. Comfort. Distractions. And it won't ask permission. You will miss moments. You will be misunderstood. You will outgrow people. And you will have to be okay with that. Because growth doesn't ask who comes with you. It only asks who's willing to keep going. Most people quit right before it works. Not because it's impossible, but because it becomes quiet. No breakthroughs. No validation. No visible progress. Just repetition. That's the danger zone. That's where dreams die. They mistake silence for stagnation. They mistake boredom for failure. They mistake loneliness for wrong direction. And they walk away from the very thing that was about to change them. This life doesn't announce breakthroughs. It just looks back one day And realizes you're no longer the same person. Stronger. Sharper. Calmer under pressure. Not because of one big moment, but because of thousands of invisible ones. Before you choose this life, ask yourself one last question. If nobody ever applauds, if nobody ever understands, if nobody ever acknowledges it, would you still do the work? Because that's the requirement. Not fame. Not respect. Not recognition. Commitment without witnesses. This life gives you no guarantees. No promises of success. No assurance of winning. No protection from loss. But it gives you something deeper. It gives you self-trust. The kind that doesn't shake when everything else does. The kind that lets you stand alone and still feel solid. The kind that comes from knowing you didn't cheat the process. Before you choose this life, understand this clearly. You don't choose it once. You choose it every day. In the morning. In the details. In the decisions no one sees. And if that excites you, if that feels right, if that feels like home, then choose it fully. No halfway. No excuses. No second identities. Because this life doesn't reward interest. It rewards commitment. And once you commit, there is no turning back. This is who you are now.